What's going on, everyone? It is Tim Liriano, aka There's Really a Wolf, and today I want to do a short little video, or a video. I'm not too sure it's going to be short or not. Just giving you the definition of market structure, or defining market structure as a whole, and how we tie that into actually entering a trade or what to look for on certain time frames. All right, I want to start by saying market structure is found on all time frames, starting from the 1 minute time frame all the way up to the monthly time frame. I'm gonna tune into specific time frames that I personally use to find a trade, but for right now I'm just gonna jump into actually showing you what market structure is. Okay, so for right now I'm just gonna have you guys actually forget about the actual candles or the actual chart, and I'm gonna show you what a downtrend market structure would be, and then we'll go into an uptrend structure. Okay, so on a downtrend, you want to see lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. All right, so this would be your actual structure. In a downtrend, you want to see new ceilings being created, okay? And each ceiling being lower than the previous one. All right, now what I mean by that is this ceiling here, okay? We have one ceiling here, makes a lower low. Now this ceiling is lower than this ceiling, okay? Meaning this is a lower high. Then we create another lower low, pulling back up to create a lower ceiling again. So I'm going to mark these off. All right, now as our ceilings drop, our floors also drop. All right, so let me just mark these off visually for you to see it. All right, so this here will be put an LH for a lower high. I'm going to use some fancy colors, nice and pink. Everyone that likes pink, let's see if we use white. All right, so these are our lower highs. Okay, and our floors that are creating lower lows, right? Because this low is lower than this low. These are lower lows. Okay, and I'll write that down for you. I'll put that for LL. Okay, so LL stands for lower low, LH stands for lower highs. Okay, so as our ceilings are dropping, our floors are going lower. Okay, so this ceiling is lower than this ceiling, right? And then this floor is lower than this floor. So again, market structure is lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now you always want to know where you are in market structure. Are you currently at a lower high? Are you in the middle of a move, meaning here, not lower than this low, but at the same level? Or are we at the lower low? And I'll show you why that's important. When we're actually taking a trade or looking for a setup. All right, that's the market structure for a downtrend. On an uptrend, you're going to see the opposite. You're going to see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs. Okay, now on an uptrend, you want to see your floors. All right, your floors are going up. Okay, now as your floors go up, these are called higher lows. Okay, let me mark it off as HL for higher low. Change the color for this one, and I'll make it blue since we're going up. Okay, so these floors, right? This floor is higher than this floor, makes this a higher low. This floor is higher than this floor, makes that another higher low. Okay, so this is what you see on an uptrend. These here are higher highs. Okay, so this high is higher than this high is higher than this high, and this high is higher than this high. Okay, on an uptrend you want to see your higher ceilings, higher floors, higher ceilings, higher floors, higher ceilings. Okay, mark that off as HH, stands for higher high. Okay. Okay, again, on an uptrend you want to pay attention more so to the floors. All right, the higher lows is what's most important to you. As long as the market is creating higher lows, the market's still on an uptrend. Okay, and the opposite for a downtrend. As long as the market's making lower highs, we're still on a downtrend. Okay, so that is market structure. And again, if you're looking for buys, you want to know where you are when you're going to look for a buy. Are you at the higher low, which is where you're looking to actually buy? These is, you know, your best entries are at the higher lows. Are you at the middle of a move, right? Which is, I mean, obviously the higher up you are in this leg, right, in this move from the higher low to the higher high, the more risk is involved, and the least opportunity behind it. So you're looking to buy low, right, and then sell high. So you're selling high at the lower highs, you're buying low at the higher lows. Okay, so you want to catch it here when you're buying at the floors, and you want to sell at the ceilings. All right, so we're going to move this over, and I'm going to actually show you on a chart. Now this market structure, all right, most of the time, or you know, depending on how you're trading or your trading style, for me personally, I look for market structure on H4. Okay, the H4 market structure for me is what's important. Okay, depending on your trading style. Again, if you're, what I mean by that is, if you're a swing trader, you're gonna base your market structure off of higher time frames, such as, you know, daily, weekly. If you're intraday a trader like myself, you're going to look at daily H4, even, and sometimes even lower, you know, into H1. But for right now, we'll focus on market structure off of H4. All right, for this example. Okay, so just put this is your H4 market structure that you'll be paying attention to. All right, I'm going to show you how each time frame has its own importance, or its own, how should I say this? It has its own. This might take a second for me to think of the actual what I'm trying to say here. Each time frame is used for its own purpose, is what I mean by that. Okay. Now I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Now again, every time frame has its own structure, meaning you can see here on the weekly, it was creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, and then obviously this here is not higher than this, which could look for which could mean that we're now changing our overall trend. All right, why do I say that? All right, at this point on the weekly, it was making higher floors. All right, you look here, higher floors. Remember, you're looking for higher floors and then higher ceilings. Okay, so we have higher ceilings, and right over here, I'll make this one red. You can see that this new ceiling, right? This new ceiling failed. This ceiling here failed to surpass this ceiling. All right, so this would be the start of a lower high, because this lower high is lower than this high. Okay, so for right now, I want to pay attention to, I'm going to use the weekly more so. I'm going to erase everything. All right, I'm going to use the weekly more so for my actual trend. Okay, I'm going to look at the trend overall off of my weekly and daily. Then I'm going to look at my structure to see if it matches our higher time frames. And remember, I'm using my structure full on H4 time frame. Okay, Now you do also want to keep in mind your major supports and resistance, which I call a key level. Okay, so for me, this is a key level of support, right? If you look left, acted as support. There was support here as well. Bring this up a little bit more, right? You had support, support. If you look left, acted as support, and then the best key levels act as support and or resistance. So it's resistance, resistance, support, support, support. All right, right here is what you call an overlap, meaning it went up and then came back down. Resistance here, support, support. So this is a good level. All right, if you look left, acted as resistance. This is a good level or a good key level. All right, but being that the market failed to make a new high, surpassing this high, I want to then go down to my daily time frame to see what type of structure I'm getting on the daily time frame as well. Are we making higher highs and higher lows? Meaning, are we getting our floors higher, or did our floors drop and our ceiling started to decrease or drop? Okay, so I'm going to show you our floors because we were on an uptrend. Okay, mark off our floors. Okay, so it's a little sloppy here, but pay attention to this here. Okay, this here. So we had a floor here, and another floor here. This whole section here is a floor. All right, never passed this price point. Then we had a new floor that was created. All right, so we had our higher low, higher high, and we had a new higher low. So this whole level here is a higher low, and we had a new push higher than this high right here. And we had a new higher low points, right? New higher low points, created a new higher high right here, higher than this high, and then came below this floor here. So let me actually bring this back to the left. All right. So this floor here, let me just put some arrows here. This floor here, right, was surpassed by this move, right? So this drop here was, which could have been, if you were looking at it like this, if you didn't see what it's currently doing, this move here broke this floor. All right, now that's a sign that the market could be turning around. Now what confirms that the market is going to continue down is if the market drops below this, surpassing these floors, and then creating a ceiling, right, that's lower than this ceiling. Okay, which was what happened right here. Okay, so we had this ceiling here, right, that's lower than this ceiling. All right, so we had a new lower low, pulled back up because the market moves in waves. It's not going to just drop. Sometimes that does happen. All right, but that's an impulse move. That's more advanced stuff I'll get into another time. But we had a lower low, pulled back up, made a new lower high, lower than this high, and then we had a new lower low. Okay, so overall we are on a downtrend. Okay, now I want to make sure, so our weekly's on a downtrend, our daily's on a downtrend. All right, but we did get to this level of some type of key support, meaning a higher time frame support. All right, now if you look at just this move here from this lower high all the way down, the market never actually waved, okay, to create a new lower high. So that signals as some type of signal for me that this pullback up here could be to create a new lower high point. Okay, because you want to sell high, you don't want to sell while you're down here. Remember what I said. You want to keep in mind where in structure you are. Are you at the lower high? Are you at the lower low? Or are you in the middle of the moon? In this case, we're at the lower low. Okay, now, how do I know this is a lower low? Because we hit this key level of support, and now the market is actually what we call U-turning right over here. All right, so it actually looks like a U. Okay? Anytime the market came to this level, made a nice U, it pushed away from it. Okay, same thing here, nice U, and then pushed away from it. Okay, so that's the reason for this push here. All right, now I want to look on my H4, being that this may be a retrace move. All right, now what the market likes to do, I'm gonna get a little bit more in detail, is if it breaks a floor like it did here, okay, broke this floor, it broke the floor and it wants to retest this floor, come back to touch it to see if they can push back up and continue this uptrend. All right, but in this case, came up, created a ceiling, and then fell. All right, now the market did the same thing here, right? If you look left, if you look at this section here, this floor here, broke a floor, made a lower low, but never came back to retest it. So in my head, if we do, since we are on a downtrend overall, if we do get, if we are looking for more sells, you want the market to, come down, make a lower low, come up and retest this level somewhere in this area, all right? Because it could stop down here because of these wicks. It can stop at this, mark where I have it. It could pull up a little higher here, but somewhere in this general area, you're gonna look for a new lower high point. So I am gonna look on H4 to see an uptrend. I want to see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, because the market's not just going to shoot up like this. All right, you want to see some type of structure on H4 to determine if it's going to retrace to this point here. Okay, let's erase this, and then we'll go down to the H4 time frame to see if we're getting some type of structure, market structure, to go, retrace back up. Okay, now if you look at your market structure here, all right, the lower the time frame, the more difficult it is if you're a beginner to see market structure. But the more you do chart time and look and repeat it to yourself over and over again, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, or higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, you become more custom and the charts become clearer and clearer and clearer for you. Okay, so I'll just go over it with you. This is the lower high off the daily time frame. All right, but H4 has its own structure. We had a lower low, pull back, creating a new lower high. So we had ceiling here, made a new lower low, new ceiling here, right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay, so another ceiling. And as you can see, in this case, that this ceiling was broken, all right, meaning that the candles pushed above this ceiling. Okay, now again, what the market likes to do is break above it, break above a ceiling, and then come back to retest it to see if it can push back and continue its downtrend, which is possible. Okay, so if I were to look to buy, again, you don't want to buy at the higher high, you want to buy at the higher low. So for right now, I am expecting, since we are going to look for a retest, off the higher time frames. Remember, we got this big push on the daily time frame, came to this key level, and I'm going to look for this push back up, which is a temporary buy, because overall the market is, trending down. I'm going to look for market structure on H4 to go against the higher time frames trend to get to this level here, or this price point at some point anywhere in this area, and then drop to continue down, or creating a lower high on the higher time frames. All right, but being that I'm looking to buy or take advantage of the retrace move, you want to buy at the higher low points. Okay, all right, so this is a higher high. You don't want to buy high, you want to buy at the higher low points. So for right now on USD CAD, I am going to look for a buying opportunity, but it has to be back at this level here. All right, because it broke this ceiling, as I showed you before. There was a ceiling here, right? A lower high, broke past it. Now I want to see if it acts as some type of support, acting as a new floor, newfound floor, meaning that this floor here will be higher than this floor to continue its uptrend, pulling back up this way. All right, and then again, you have, if it stops here, possible new floor created. All right, and then create a floor and then push back up again. As long as it's doing this and creating new floors, we're going to be on a temporary uptrend all the way until we get to this level here,